What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. It's your boys, Haize and them cognac boys, C-Dubb and Bobby in the building. And on
Yes,
today's
sir.
episode, we'll be going over rumors that Robert Quinn is seeking a trade and what could the Bears get back for him. Also talking about the Bears being ranked as NFL's worst team per ESPN. And then also they had an average offseason, and that comes from Pro Football Focus. We'll get into all that and more in today's Chicago Bears Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, people? Man, it's been a interesting week as far as news. It's been really slow, and that's to be expected with OTAs. You get the normal thing of, hey, this guy looks good, this guy looks great, he's gonna shine. It all happens, but some of the things that came down that's been a little bit more interesting is NFL did their ranking, and so the Bears ranked low on offense, 30th in defense. So that has us coming in as the worst team in the NFL going into the 22 season. What do you guys think about that? I mean, like some of the teams that we're behind, I'm like, come on, man. Come on. They also gave us a 14% chance of landing the number one overall pick. Like, this is deep, man.
This violated us, man.
Man, look, right here. I'll kick it off real quick. I got 12 teams. I'm gonna just run through real quick that I think the Bears are at least better than. I got the Falcons, the Panthers, Giants, Lions, Seahawks, Saints, Colts, Jets, Texans, and Jags. I think they can either be at the same level with them, but definitely better than most of them. Just going off personnel real quick. Falcons, no offensive weapons whatsoever other than Kyle Pitts. Panthers, they only got Christian McCaffrey. I think we have something you can watch that a little bit with David Montgomery. Giants, come on, man. No hope in Danny Dimes. Lions, they from damn Detroit. And like the Seahawks, you got two good wide receivers in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. But are you really gonna put your faith in Drew Lock? No, sir. Hot garbage. Then the Saints, I believe they will be good when Jameis Winston come back. They got Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Alvin Kamara. So I think that's a really good team. They're going to be good. Then you got the Colts and the Jets, the Texans, and the Jags. Come on, man. I believe the Bears will be at the minimum middle of the pack team. But to say that they will be the worst, come on, guys. That's ridiculous.
Oh man. And with me, it basically goes down to who is your starting quarterback. Because that's the only way you're going to win games in this NFL. And let's just name a few teams that got a worse starting quarterback than the Chicago Bears. Let's go Detroit Lions, please. Come on now. Houston Texans. Come on now. Davis Mills, Jared Goff. Stop that. New York Jets. Zach Wilson, okay, but is he better than my man Justin Fields? Nah. Then we go to Atlanta Hawks. Felipe Franks. Do anybody know who that is? I don't even know who that is.
You make the
and Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He good, but do I like him better than Justin Fields? Absolutely not. It's just another kick in the face to us Chicago Bears. Don't believe the hype. We definitely not going to be the. We're not gonna be the worst. We're not gonna be the worst team, guys.
No, and then considering that they say we have the easiest schedule in the NFL too. Come on. So I want to go over, before we leave this top, I want to go over the top 5 teams in the NFL according to these rankings and the bottom 5 teams in the NFL according to these rankings. So top 5: Bills, Packers, Rams, Chiefs, Buccaneers. Do you agree with that top 5?
Okay,
that sounds about good.
I think it sounds about good, but we don't know where the Packers gonna be at, and we gotta stop going over. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me wrong, been kicking our ass for a very long time, but he has lost some people. You know what I'm saying? That were significant pieces both on offense and defense. They drafted some defensive players too before they took their wide receiver, and we get all the smoke. Come on, man!
Specifically, Javonte Adams. That's specifically Adams.
I think what it boils down to, looking at the rankings, is that they are going based off of a lot, not completely, but it is the quarterback, and it is how proven the quarterback is. And I think that right now, Justin Fields doesn't get a lot of respect for his potential, and he shouldn't, right? Let's be clear. I like Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is going to shine this season, but second-year quarterback who didn't do a lot in his rookie season, it makes sense to
That's
to
fair.
underrate him some, but I think he's going to come in and shine this season and go over the bottom 5 teams. Well, first, let me give my thoughts on the top 5 teams in the NFL. It's cool. I think that I will replace the Buccaneers with the Chargers personally, in my opinion. I think that I would have the Bucs 7 and the Chargers 5th. That's just my personal opinion. But the top 5 is solid. Bottom 5, though, the Jaguars, Falcons, Texans, Jets, and Bears. And I'm sorry, I know I'm a Bears fan. I'm a homer. But out of those bottom 5 teams, the Bears are better than all of those teams.
All of them.
Like,
all of them. It's crazy.
How the hell are we the worst team in the NFL, man?
That's crazy, dude.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's wild, bro. Like that. The disrespect is real. The disrespect is real. But hey, I love proving people wrong. And
it's
I tell you what,
it's a lot of Wisconsin employees doing these rankings.
The cheeseheads. So there's an over or under out there. Over or under the Bears winning 6.5 games this season. So that would basically saying, do you think the Bears can at least get to 7 games this season? I'm taking the over on that. I think
I'm taking the over too. I think they'll get over. 7.
I go over.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. That's where we stand on that. ESPN, you can kiss our collective black asses. That's how I feel about
on
that.
The real. Damn.
This next topic up though, Robert Quinn, after coming off one of the best seasons of his career, with 18 and a half sacks, 49 tackles, 17 tackles for a loss, and 22 hits on the quarterback. He may want to get a trade out of Chicago. Now, considering the Chicago Bears are in a rebuild, they've traded away a lot of their veterans. Do you think that the Bears are going to trade Robert Quinn? Do you think they should trade Robert Quinn? And then if we do decide, what do you think we can realistically get back for Robert Quinn? Because I think we can get a hell of a return as far as draft packages when it comes to Robert Quinn. What do you guys think?
I think that 32 years old, soon to be 33. Ship him on out of there. Now it's a double-edged sword, because if you go ahead and let him, if you say, all right, we're gonna let him build his draft stock, that can hurt you too. You know what I'm saying? Because what if he comes out, he ain't fully feeling it, and he not producing, then that might lower his draft stock. So if you get somebody that's calling in, injuries happen. So there's gonna be somebody that's gonna get desperate and be like, man, we need another edge rusher. If they come calling the Bears, I'm pulling the trigger. We rebuilding. You just got to pull the trigger. Somebody gonna be desperate and they're gonna give you an overhaul, or possibly get, at least at the minimum, you got to get the same thing or more that you got for Khalil Mack.
And it's not like he has not a long time on his contract. He's under contract until 2024, meaning that if a team does trade for him, they're getting 2 solid seasons of Robert Quinn before they even got to worry about re-signing him. And considering he's 32, about to be 33 years old, that may be it for him. Right. I think that if the Bears, if he's truly wanting a trade out of there for the culture, I love Robert Quinn, but you got to ship him out. You got to ship him out, like you said, before you get your chance to get injured, before you get your chance to maybe not shine, and not look as good. You got to ship him out, because you got to think the Bears can get what? Probably, if not a first round pick, a couple of second round picks, and maybe some other picks for him at least.
That's what I'm saying.
That, and going into a rebuilding team, like, and considering how much draft capital freaking the other front office gave up, he can get us a lot of that back in a way just by a Robert Quinn deal. But go ahead, C-Dubb, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with a trade if they're looking to trade Robert Quinn. Me personally, he had a great year last season with 18 and a half sacks, but he's wildly consistent throughout his career. His usually goes up and down. So I do think that we need to get younger, faster, and stronger. And I think about two second-round picks to do. You maybe not be able to get a first-round pick for this guy. Maybe 2 second-round picks at least.
Yeah, 2 second-round picks and do it. Listen, the first and the third, first and the fourth. If you can get a first, I'll take that. But they can get a nice haul for Robert Quinn, and considering a off season ahead where we have a lot of cap space too, we can get some draft capital back in that. Man. I don't know how strong the draft class next year is supposed to be or not, but man, you got to think it like, hey, trading Robert Quinn may get you the pick that gets us our number 1 wide receiver if we don't develop one.
Seriously,
you got to think about.
Seriously,
it sucks though, but I think had they kept some veterans, maybe they signed Larry Ogunjobi, maybe it did, but like Robert Quinn's probably looking around saying, hey, listen, I want to win a Super Bowl before I get up out of here. Yep. I want to get as close to that as possible. And realistically, just in fairness, the Bears are quite a way away from that. So it makes sense for all parties. If he wants to get out of there, don't hesitate, don't wait, start hitting the phone calls and get him up out of there. And that's not a slight at him, but listen, you got to think about the long-term effects that could have on your team. And I look at it as this: it's nothing but positivity, possibly for the Bears and for Robert Quinn's career to get him out of there if he truly does want to get traded. So,
it fits the mold of like what the Bears are doing in Haize Hall. They're going younger, like they're not keeping any kind of old relics from the old Chicago Bears. So you could probably see this guy leaving real soon. Sorry, Robert.
Yeah, I say, I mean, if somebody get the call during training camp, I think that'd be the perfect time. So yeah, at least because I believe after seeing 18 and a half and setting the Bears record last year, that his stock should be high. So go ahead and pull the trigger, and if because you never know how he's acting, because apparently he didn't show up to do OTAs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He hasn't showed up to any of that to participate, probably because he's an older guy, one of the vets. But you know what I'm saying? He ain't trying. We just gotta wait to see, man. But pull the trigger if you got a nice deal on the table.
Yeah, and I mean, and his contract isn't huge either. $8 million a year.
No, that's not yet.
Yeah, come on. That's something you gotta look at that like, hey, that's easy for another team to absorb too. So everything points to, don't expect Robert Quinn maybe to be on opening day in the Chicago Bears uniform. But shout out to Robert Quinn. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. If you are moved, that's my Vince McMahon line. But it kind of is what it is there. Moving in, last topic for today. According to Pro Football Focus, the Bulls offseason ranked a C, an average. So they gave our free agency an average, and our draft grade, though, they gave us a B- in the draft grade, which I was surprised that it was that high. That draft grade really did save it. What do you guys think? Like, looking at the offseason objectively, I can see it being considered an average offseason. Now, some of these guys shine bigger than what they may have been expected to. I think you have to go back and alter that grade or put an asterisk there, but looking at everything right now, I think it's fair to give it an average. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's also fair to give it average. What I'm really surprised at is that B- for that draft. And you guys know why I don't want to keep speaking. It's a wait to see. But okay, I agree with that average though. It was kind of an average offseason though.
I think all the grades, at least on that particular part, was fair compared to calling us the worst team in the NFL, because the moves, they addressed some needs, but then they got some people who they felt like can help the team. Just like C-Dubb said, we got to wait to see what that translates to. But then since we even, the last few videos, even before that, we was talking about Ryan Poles is not going out signing crazy deals just to prove a point. The man is trying to build something, and he really sat back on a lot of deals. You know what I'm saying? He put a lot of people on prove it deals, and that man been shopping. He shopping at Goodwill through the clothing rack for most of these people. Like, hey, y'all gotta prove it. So to me, the grades are pretty fair, man, because it wasn't no like Christian Kirk, like for that's somebody we looked at initially, but when we saw that Ryan Poles wasn't paying that much money, we knew that man was gonna go somewhere else and get a larger deal. So it's fair for me.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at like even the players that Ryan Poles shipped out, Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson, and sending them out to cut some of that salary, just in where they place, and then if this thing ends up happening with Robert Quinn too, you gotta look at that too, like as those are smart deals, because there are a lot of teams that go into rebuild and they still pay these veterans big money, knowing that they're not really about to win anything. Right. And Bears already have a huge dead salary cap bill. So to be able to ship those guys out, especially in that Khalil Mack deal where they got them to take all the money, they took the money. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta give him props for that.
Yeah, like Poles isn't making those big splash deals. That may come next offseason, but in the season where you're really setting the table to evaluate, like you said, give a lot of prove it deals, take a look at what you really have, so that way you can use your cap space next season to really fill in and know where your true holes are before you spend big money on players. Poles has made a lot of intelligent deals. Now, again, some of our issues with the draft and what didn't happen with the draft aside, there's a vision there. And I think for the first time for the Chicago Bulls, we have a front office now that has a vision, and I want to see what that ends up going through to completion. So yeah, it's an average, but I think it's an average with you really can't judge this offseason as a total until we get to next offseason. Because if some of these prove-it deals, like for Brian Pringle, come through, hey, that changes a lot of things for the Bears. So
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Hey, I want to have something. A question to ask you guys. Guys. This is just a hypothetical trade. Do you think Robert Quinn straight up for DK Metcalf for work?
If they'll do that, you do it. You don't question that. If they do that
money,
deal,
baby.
Listen, if they would do that deal, you don't even look. I would be on this pod. We would have to do an emergency podcast. If Poles was able to pull that deal off, listen, all my issues with the draft go aside. Like DK Metcalf, come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, man. I was just looking at that.
I love to see it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. But if it does happen, listen, I tell you what, you're going to hear a collective yay across the nation of every Bears fan that is across everywhere in America. Because if that deal happens, you get rid of a player who doesn't want to be here and bring in a player that brings everything we need for a wide receiver, bro.
Come on, man.
That man got that top end speed too.
Hypothetical.
Listen.
Right now. Hey, don't get in the comments going crazy. My boy Haize been going crazy on Bulls Nation all week.
Bro. I've been giving people the work on Chicago Bulls Central, man. I had to be giving people it's so many. I'm so glad signing trades aren't a thing in the NFL, bro. Because listen, I'm telling you, I'd be stressed the hell out, man.
For real.
Bulls fans, man. Listen, one thing though, while that does come up, I do want to appreciate the love you guys have been showing us in the comments, man. We've been getting a lot of love for people saying that they love the show. And that's appreciated, man. I can't wait till the season starts. Like I said, once actual football starts, if you think the show's been fun now, wait till we breaking down actual games, man. It's going to be crazy.
It's only one way to go, baby.
It's going to be a lot of fun around Chicago Bears Central, man. But if you guys got anything else, if not, Bobby, you can give them the social media, brother.
All right. First and foremost, shout out to my sister Aviana. She walking across the stage. She graduated college today. So kudos to her. Doing her thing. University of Arizona graduate.
Okay.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to y'all, my two co-hosts, man. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to the fans for rocking with us. Go ahead and check out Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys with me and C-Dubb. And then go check out our main man at CEO Haize on all social media platforms, holding it down, giving y'all Petty Roosevelt occasionally. He do that pop
Watch
and
out.
then dropping the real on the Bulls whenever that news drop. So y'all know what to do.
You already know, man. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. You can follow us collectively at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform that we're on. I got to get an Instagram started. I got to get some clips up there for us on that. So I'll get working on that. If you want to email us, you can do so at chicagobearcentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so is 773-270-2799. That's it for us for today, man. We are out. We love you, beautiful people. We'll see you guys Wednesday, as long as there's some news. If there's no news Wednesday, we won't be around. But if there's some news, we'll definitely be there. All right, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.